The final week of preseason is this weekend, so we're going to start getting into regular season predictions, and we're going to start off with AFC West predictions, the division that my Broncos are in. And god damn, this is a good division. I personally think there's 3 playoff teams in this division, but we have to see how that plays out by the end of the season. But let's get into it. All right, we will start with the Chargers. And the Chargers definitely did go through some upgrades during the offseason. I don't think Najee was entirely an upgrade over J.K. Dobbins. I think they're pretty much on the same level. But picking up Omarion Hampton on top of it, that's an upgrade. I think Omarion Hampton's going to be a stud. I wanted the Broncos to get him. Jahdae Barron pick caught me off guard, but that's okay. I think Jahdae will be a good third corner for us, so I'm not worried about it. The return of Keenan Allen and getting Will Disley as a tight end. Will Disley is not the greatest tight end, but he'll make it work. And they don't have an insanely hard schedule. I have their floor as in worst to worst injuries, or they just don't play as well as anybody thinks, as 9-8. And I do have their ceiling as 12-5. I do think this is a great team. Absolute chance of making the playoffs and then absolutely pissing it down their leg like they always do. Herbert, please don't throw 4 picks this year. I actually like you, so don't do that. And then we will move on to the Raiders now. And the Raiders went through an entire makeover. I do like what they're doing. I don't think they'll make it to the playoffs this year. There's a chance, and if they do, I'd be a little shocked, not gonna lie. First year of the Pete Carroll era there, but we will see on how that goes. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I have their floor as 7-10 and their ceiling as 10-7. I think they have the chance to make some waves, especially with the Genty pick. I do like some of their wide receivers. I think their wide receivers could be better, and I think that's what's going to be really weighs them down this year. But, you know, Brock Bowers is always there to pick up the slack. They do have some great pieces on their defense. I don't think their defense will be as good as some of the other defenses in the AFC West. But, like the Broncos, obviously personally, I think the Broncos are the best defense, but people will call that bias. I don't care. You know what, screw it. While we're on the topic of them, let's move on to my Broncos. The Broncos made some great acquisitions in the offseason, defensively and offensively. Greenlaw, Hufanga, Jahdae Barron, all in the defense. Those are some big names for the defense. And offensively, we got Evan Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, Pat Bryant, which I think is going to be a sleeper for a lot of people. I think he's going to perform a lot better than people think, and I am excited to see it. And I also think Troy Franklin will be playing a bigger part in their offense this year. I actually have them as the same floor and the same ceiling as the Chargers. So floor will be 9-8 and ceiling will be 12-5. I do think the Broncos will make it to the playoffs again this year. And hopefully not a first round exit, but we'll see. Depends on who they play. I wouldn't be surprised if they get Bills again and absolutely get stomped. We will move on to the Devil Magic team. The Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know how many children they have sacrificed to get to where they are now, but I don't want to know. We don't like them here. But I have their floor as a 10-7 and their ceiling as a 13-4. I do think they will most likely win the division again this year, but I do think this will be the first year that they have a chance to not win it. I don't really think they've had a chance to lose it the past few years, but this year I think there's a chance they lose it. But we'll have to see how that goes. There's still a great all-around team. And, you know, the extra help with the refs on offense and defense, I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to the Super Bowl 4th year in a row, but I digress. Nah, I'm just playing. All right, with our standings, I think in 4th place will be the Raiders this season, 3rd place, Chargers, 2nd place, Broncos, and 1st place, Chiefs. And honestly, Chargers, Broncos, interchangeable. You could put Broncos 3rd. I wouldn't argue with it. You could argue that any of them be 1st besides the Raiders. I don't think the Raiders go 1st. I think 1 through 3 are all interchangeable. The Raiders, I think, are 4th no matter what. They could maybe crawl into 3rd, but I don't know who they would knock down. But, hey, Raiders, that's a challenge. See what you can do with it. But those are our AFC West predictions. I hope you all enjoyed, and we will have each division up over the next few days. We'll do one division at a time, and tomorrow's division will be the AFC North. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.